command docker run -p and this one. And if you want to have your volumes and all set up, right, you can create a Docker compose file or specify -v and everything. So this also, if you see, you will find those details. We saw this here, right? Wait, let me close this one. Okay, so if you come down here, you would actually see this is for storing the volumes. We discussed about Docker volumes in the earlier session. So you can store it to your home, some C user, some desktop or something. You can map it to this particular directory in Jenkins, so that next time you restart the container, all your jobs and all will be stored like in your machine. So next time you run it, there will be no data loss. Okay, so that is also there. So now if you see, yeah, like we said, our Jenkins container is running. Yeah, here it is. Okay, so this is what we are trying to do. So we are trying to do it. So we did one step. We did it using the Docker container, and the persistent, that the one that we need actually is a build server. So that we are trying to achieve using in AWS server. Okay, Ubuntu server in AWS. To run the apt-get install Jenkins now. Before that, let me see if Java is installed. So Java version. So yeah, it says the Java 11 is installed. So now we can actually go ahead and run the Jenkins command, apt-get install Jenkins. Okay. So any doubts? You guys are not confused. So there are two ways we try to install Jenkins. One is using the container, and one is using on a server, on a Ubuntu 20.4 server. We are trying to install it now. Okay, this should take 2 or 3 minutes. I think we are at half time. So let's take a 3 minute break. Right? We'll connect at 10 to 5 minute break. Right? We'll connect at 10 to. First, we have to add the this one repository, sudo apt repository, this PPA Linux uprising Java. And then after that, you just have to install apt-get install OpenJDK 11 JDK. So we have installed Java 11. So any version of Java is fine, right? So you see here we have installed Java 11. So I think Jenkins also has started running. Yeah, it's running. Okay, let's just check that and we'll take a break. So now it is saying, so to check if the Jenkins server is running or not, the command is service Jenkins status. So similarly, if you want to stop this Jenkins server, you have to give service Jenkins stop, service Jenkins start, right? If you actually, yeah, okay. So now it is saying it's running, right? So if we go back to our server, okay. So how do I access this? This is running on AWS, right? So how do I actually access it? I need to access it from the URL of the server, okay? So this is the server that we created. This is the URL 310821586, okay? So I will go to that same window, and it is running on port 8080. So if everything goes fine, we should be able to see that Jenkins page. Okay, so yeah. So this is also running fine, the Jenkins server. So we are able to see this Jenkins page. Okay, Jenkins is loading, and it is saying unlock Jenkins, give this key. So here, since it is a dedicated server that we are connected to, right? So this is actually a dedicated server. We can actually directly go ahead and cat this. So if you just do a cat of this one, okay, I need to be a root, and then if I just do a cat of this one, I am getting this key. Okay, so this is the key it requires. So let me put this, continue. Okay. And this is the plugins that we are talking about earlier. Keep install the plugin selected, suggested plugin. Okay. So let it install all the required plugins. Then we'll go ahead and create a job. Okay. Now, so next, the second off, we'll try to let these plugins get installed. We'll take a 5-minute break. Then once we come back, we'll try to we'll try to explore the UI of Jenkins, and we'll try to run a sample Hello World application and our own application as well. Okay, let's connect at 10:05. This will be displayed in the browser. This can be used for the documentation purpose. Okay, so what are the other folders? I'm just showing you the basic. This is basically the home folder of Jenkins. So you should know where to check. So if you want to check the logs, you can check in the logs folder under varlib Jenkins. User content we saw, and there is a plugins folder, right? If you go inside the plugins folder, you can see all the details about the plugins that are installed. So even you can create your own plugin for your project. You can have your own plugin. Okay, so the plugin extension would be .jpi. Okay, .jpi plugin. So you can also, if you download it from other source and put it in this plugin folder and restart Jenkins, so that also works. Okay, so for example, we have installed this Git client or whatever plugins we installed. So we selected that install all the required plugins, right, during installation. So that's when it downloaded all these JPI files and it actually set this up. Okay, so all the plugin details you will find it in the plugins folder. Okay, and what else is there? Secrets, users. So if you have users created, you can find it here. So this is self-explanatory. You can actually, once you install it, you can actually check this out. Okay, you can browse inside this folder and see what are the files present. So inside users, if you see, there is currently only one user called Jenkins_admin. Okay, so these details. So this is all self-explanatory. Only thing, let's run one of the job and show you where you can actually find all these details, right? So okay, let's go back to our Jenkins console. Okay, in the UI. So if you look at, so in Manage Jenkins, I think this is all self-explanatory. You can actually find it out. So the only thing that I wanted to touch upon was Manage plugin, Manage nodes. Okay, these two, and global tool configuration. And these are all managing credentials, creating users and everything, all this. And these are all information about the statistics, right? What is the load that's currently on the Jenkins? And yeah, these are some other settings that you have. Okay, so the main thing is once you go back to this dashboard page, you click on new item. Okay, new item is creating a job. Okay, so if you see, there are multiple options here. So these are also part of plugin. So if you not have any plugin installed, you would not see anything here. Even freestyle project, pipeline project, these are all part of the plugin. Okay. So first, let's try to run a simple Hello World application. Okay. So let me try to name it as, I'll name it as Hello World. And the type of project, we'll start with the freestyle project, then we'll move to pipeline. Okay. Pipeline requires a Groovy scripting. So we'll see it in the later stage once we are comfortable with freestyle. Okay. So let's select the freestyle project. I have named it as Hello World. Okay. So as soon as you create a project, right? As soon as you create a job, you see many options here. Okay? General, source code management, build triggers, build environment, post build action. Okay, so all these are there. So this you can give a description required, something like this, Hello World or something, and you have many options here. discard old builds. Okay, if you click on that, how many older number of builds you can discard, and lot many things, right? These are all you can actually find it out from here. I can't explain everything. Like it will take a lot of time. So you can actually select this question mark, and it will give details about what this parameter means. Okay. So I'll tell you what in real time what we normally use. So other things you can actually find it using this question mark symbol here. Okay. So this is a source code management. Currently we have only Git. So if somebody is using Bitbucket or SVN or something, you need to install the corresponding plugin. Okay. Then you would have this button enabled here. For example, let me show you that also. Manage plugins. So for example, if I install SVN, okay. I think this is outdated, right? So don't find that here. Okay, that's fine. So normally, anyways, we are not going to use that. For now, I'll not choose anything. I'm just doing a Hello World project. Let me keep it as source code management as none. Okay, and this and all, I'll also leave it blank for now. We'll come back to this. But if you still look at these options, right? Build remotely, right? If you want to run it through an authentication token or something from your application, if you want to call this job, you can do that. Okay. So there are many options actually. Build periodically, where there is like a cron tab, right? You give that schedule star like this. You give run every day 10 p.m. something like that. You can get this details here as well. See, here it is. Minute, hour, day of the month, day of the week. So you give this. For example, you give it like this, H1, 15 like this. So this is the cron tab entry. Okay. So if you want this job to be done every day at morning 10 a.m. or something, you can specify that. So this is another good option to have. Okay. Poll SCM. Poll SCM is where it will actually try to get if any event happens on the GitHub, it will try to get that. Okay. So then it will get triggered. So this is build trigger when it should run. Okay. And this is the build environment. So in the build environment, do you want to delete the workspace before it starts? Use secrets and everything. Okay. For now, what we'll do is in the build. So build, post build. These are the two important steps. Okay. So in the build step, what you want to do? In the post build, what do you want? In the build step, I will actually execute a shell command. Okay. For an example purpose. So just we'll try to echo. So this is a sample just to get started, right? I'll give it as echo hello world. Okay, and nothing else. Now post build and all, I'm not doing anything. So post build, you have multiple options, like you want to email notification, you want to archive, like you want to push the artifacts into some JFrog server or something like that. All you can do here. CD part also, CI part as well, CD part as well, the option. Okay, so for now, let's go with echo hello world. Okay, I'll click on apply. Okay, I'll click on save. Okay, so as soon as you come here, you see here back to dashboard, you would see one of the job hello world that we have. It got created. There is no last success, last failure, last duration. So when you click on this job, okay, you get a lot of options here on the left. So you click on build now is when it is you are asking it to run. Okay, so let's do that. I'll click on build now. Okay, it actually ran successfully. You can see it from the build history here. You see this one build number is 1. So if you run it again, the build number would again become 2. Okay, now I click that again, it became 2. So if you want to, if you click on this anywhere here, right? If you click on this arrow, so this means it is successful. In case it failed or something, you will get that red color. That build that option. Okay, so this is the console output, means what happened inside the server. Okay, so running as system, then all we did is we printed hello world, right? Echo hello world. So this is what we printed. So this is getting displayed here, hello world. Okay, so this is one thing. And for example, let me make some error here. Okay. So if you want to modify this job, okay, you actually go to configure. Okay, click on configure. then you will get the same when you started to build that, whatever settings you got right in the initial stages, that you will get. For example, if I leave out some, if I make a purposely, if I make a mistake, right, I'll click on save. Okay. I removed one double quote. So if I try to build now, see, you see this option, it is the cross one, it says build is failed. Tick means build is successful. Okay, you click on that, it will actually show execute shell marked as failure, syntax error. Okay, unterminated quoted string. So this is how you actually be able to see what happened, and if your job is failing, for what reason it is failing. All that it will try to show here. Okay, and if you see here, if you click on that build, for example, you click on this build, you get a lot of options here. And also let's go back to the backend. So this is also important. So if I go to the backend, right, the same folder where lib Jenkins. So this is where it is actually trying to run, right? So if I do an lslrt, if I go inside the workspace is the folder where it will actually try to do all the activities. Okay, so inside workspace, if you see this hello world, this is the job that is that we created, right? So it has this hello world job. Okay, so here there is nothing here because we are just printing a simple just hello world is what we are doing, right? That's why there is nothing. Okay, so any doubts still here, guys? Now we'll try to take our application and try to run it. Okay, so just before that, I wanted to show. Also, I think you can see the logs here. One thing I missed. If you go to jobs, I guess. So inside jobs also you will find this. Okay. So inside jobs, if you see, you will find the number of builds. So if you see there is a build folder. Inside build folder, you will see how many times it has run. Okay. So now we ran it 3 times, right? So you should be able to see 3. 1, 2, 3. By 3, I mean this one. Here. Once I ran it twice here, and third time it failed. So all that information you can find it in the backend here. Okay. So for example, in the third build, it failed, right? You can actually go inside and check what is like the log file of that and everything. Okay. So everything is actually neatly placed here. Okay. The same log, whatever we saw here, there is a log file. So this one, right, unterminated quoted string with whatever syntax error. So those things you will find it here as well. Okay. So inside the jobs folder and workspace folder, both folders you will find all the details. Okay, I try to show you from the front end how you configure and where it is actually coming and getting stored in the back end. Okay, so that you will be very clear what's happening. Okay, now let's go back to our job. Okay, so this is a simple hello world application. So let's go back to our GitHub where we actually pushed our code. Okay, I have that Python Django application in the GitHub. Okay, so the GitHub feature Docker. So this is the to-do application that we were working on earlier, right? So in the last session we saw this. Okay, also let me have this. Let me clone this, okay, so that we'll do it. Okay, to clone this, how normally we clone this and all you already would be aware, I guess. Okay. Let me go to repo. Okay. I'm just trying to clone this repository here. So we'll run it locally once and then try to run it. So cmd clone and the URL. So it will actually download that here. And I have to, okay, let me open this in code. So we have this. I'll open this in VS Code.